let me use maybe this last short window of time to conclude like we started on innovation. Let's go back more than 500 years ago, at a time where Leonardo da Vinci first started imagining and, in fact, designing human-powered flying machines. It was roughly 450 years before the first plane actually took off. It was clearly ahead of its time, a truly exceptional and unique visionary. There have been, of course, some massive inventions that have changed the world and shaped it forever. In 1928, when Alexander Fleming observed strange mold growing in the petri dish, he was one of the few to investigate further and make a discovery that will completely change the medical world, the penicillin. The Lumiere brothers are considered being the inventors of the first motion picture camera, the prelude, if you want, of cinema. There would be no Hollywood without the Lumiere brothers, and just to show you that the French can do something, right, as well. Sir Tim Berners-Lee is considered to be the inventor of the web. I guess it's not a bad claim to fame. And without Benjamin Franklin, you would not be able to see the guy in front of you. So can you imagine trying to find your way to the bathroom right now, right? This is how innovation can really change our world. And some of these innovations are just so much bigger than us. It's impossible to relate to them. But on the other side, there are innovations that don't look so exceptional, but still have changed our way of life. Think about Levi Strauss and his pair of blue jeans, right? I mean, this is clearly one of America's biggest success stories. And there is really nothing exceptional about them, just a pair of blue trousers, right? But yet, consumers in the United States buy approximately 450 million of pairs of blue jeans every year. So, what does that tell us? Well, it tells us that in the past, innovation used to take time from idea to realization. And it was clearly associated with a few and not with the many. Innovative power was in the hands of the minority, ladies and gentlemen, in the past. You had to be a genius. But the example of Levi Strauss shows us as well that innovation could be simple, but still very impactful. But get this, 2 years ago, when the 3D printing revolution really hit, most of us in this room wondered if our grandchildren might one day drive a 3D car. Well, you know what? Some people already do. And 3D printers will revolutionize manufacturing. If you are in the manufacturing industry, you cannot avoid to think about that an individual can build his own stuff. And this will be in everybody's hands. Your children, our children or grandchildren will likely start printing their own stuff rather than buying them. So yes, innovation changes the world. That reality hasn't changed. But the world has now accelerated, and technology enables innovation to happen virtually overnight. It is insane when you think about it, really. And by the way, exactly the same applies to business models. There was a record of 156 companies that went public in the US in 2014. 156, that is a 65% increase on the previous year. These guys were simply the quickest. Because today, it is not the big that beat the slow, but this is really the fast that beat the slow. Sorry, I should say it's not the big that beat the small, but the fast that beat the slow. And this is clearly what makes winners and losers out of all of us. But there is another dynamic that is really interesting. As I said before, and as you have seen, innovation used to be in the hands of the few. But now, and more, it's in the hands of the many. What we are experiencing, ladies and gentlemen, is nothing else than democratization of innovation. It's a level playing field out there. And a lot more of us are simply connected, informed, and have access to the latest technology. We can all innovate. We have the power to do it. And if you look at the person on your right, yeah, you can, or look at the person on your left, you are clearly looking at the innovators of tomorrow. And guess what? They are looking at you. You certainly don't need to be Leonardo da Vinci anymore, but to be innovative yourself, you have to believe that you have the power to be innovative. And to be innovative, you just need imagination. This is what sets us apart these days from also your competition. It is not just about innovation, but it is about imagination. In other words, innovation's most important component is you, each of you. And at Software AG, yes, we do believe passionately in innovation. It's in our DNA, it is who we are, and certainly we will always be. The digital business platform portrays that at its best. We believe nobody better than you can imagine the future of your company. That's why today we ask our customers not only to outline how to improve doing things, but to imagine what we can achieve and do together. We know we are a technology enabler, but differentiating factor at the end of the day is not just our technology, but the person interacting and shaping it at the customer's hand. You are clearly the differentiating factor. By 2019, it is predicted that the average PC will have the equivalent power of a human brain. By 2020, Volvo is claiming it will have built the first crash-proof car. Where will you be in 4 to 5 years from now? Where will your company be? Well, I can tell you, it has never been a better time to be inspired. The time to act is right now, right here. You heard that all day long, yesterday and today. It is time to change the game. And from my point of view, game changing is not only about automating the processes of yesterday, but inventing the processes of tomorrow. Game changing for me is not just about, direction. It's about perception. It's something to be game changing. It has to not just change the way something is done, but it is changing the way something is thought about or experienced. This is clearly the opportunity digitization offers. Let me give a real recent example leveraging Software AG's digital business platform. And this use case, ladies and gentlemen, is really, really game-changing, and it has the power to make a better world and really to improve people's lives. As you might know, millions of people worldwide suffer from chronic, debilitating conditions that isolate them and limit the way they live their lives. European doctors and academics wanted together and wanted really to change that, and they created this innovation medicine initiative, which is, by the way, an 11 million euro project in Europe that will use technology to give sufferers of epilepsy, depression, and other conditions more autonomy. We decided at Software AG to give our software to this project so patients can be medically monitored on a real-time basis, while, of course, being home. So when something goes wrong, a doctor will not only know about it immediately, but even be able to predict it. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is about improving lives and even about saving lives. What a use of the Internet of Things, what a use of software AG technology. This is for me certainly game-changing, and for us at Software AG, a real reason to be proud. So this is really the message that I want to leave with you now. Is Software AG can help you to imagine tomorrow. If we can enable you to explore your imagination, if we can be this technology enabling you to change the game, to change your game, or simply to be the company you want to be, or maybe just to stay relevant, successful as a company you are today. If we can give you this power to innovate, win, and to some extent contribute to change your world, then yes, we will have achieved our ambition to be the company we are proud of. In fact, you just need to imagine. We will be proud to help you to achieve. After all, you have the power. It's in your hands. Thank you very, very much, everybody. Thank you. Thank you.